D, wait for it, delightful.
Check out the name tag. You're in my world now, Grandma.
And welcome to my week in review, where I come to you every Sunday with 3 entertainment stories that I personally find interesting, and then we discuss them down below. Now, also down below, you'll find the articles that I'm going to be reading you to do this video, and you can read them for yourself or just watch this video where I'm basically just read the whole article to you. Also, I want to say that if you like what I do here and you enjoy independent content here on YouTube, please consider subscribing to my channel. YouTube is always changing up their algorithm, and small channels like mine, we just keep getting shoved to the back of the line. So please ask that you like, share, and subscribe, and I thank you in advance. All right, now that we got that business out of the way, why don't we go ahead and get started? So for my first story this week, all right, you guys, it looks like they found their Supergirl for the DCU, James Gunn's DCU, and it looks like it's Millie Alcock. So this article is from Deadline, and this came out earlier this week and everything, and I'm sorry I didn't get to it right away, but I wanted to save it because this week's all about casting. So there's Millie Alcock, and you may remember her from House of the Dragon. So let's read this article for just a hot second, and then I'll give you my thoughts and everything. So, House of the Dragon actress Millie Alcock has landed the coveted role of Supergirl in James Gunn and Peter Safran's new DCU. So let's pop this sucker up here. There we go. And, you know, good for her. I had done a video about the 3 girls that were, or women that were in the short list for the coveted role. So it says the Australia-born Alcock played the young Princess Rhaena Targaryen in the first season of HBO's Game of Thrones spinoff House of the Dragon, and I thought she did a great job. She did so good on that show. I covered that show, loved it to death. She did great. A small piece of me wishes they would have just kept her on for the whole first season and for the whole show, because they had another actress take over for her as the older Rhaena, and I really did think and she's really hot. She's like so hot, but I really think she did a good job, you know, and I just good for her that she's able to shoot that into an even bigger career, you know. So it says, there's been buzz that the new Supergirl will appear in Gunn's Superman Legacy, which is about to go before the cameras in Georgia, but that's not 100%. What we know now is that she'll appear in a DC-based project before starring in her solo feature, Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. No director has been announced for Supergirl. The project first announced at DC Studios Press Day a year ago. It's based on Tom King's 2022 comic book series, on which Belquist Even Lee as the illustrator. So here's some pictures, real quick. I'll come back to this article, but here is some pictures of her as Supergirl. And these are just like fan art and everything. So this one is pretty good. I actually do like this one. I think that they didn't take her hair and make it all super blonde, which is fine by me. She can be dirty blonde. I know some people freak out. Now, I do have to say, they have to give her the skirt. They have to. That's a classic look. Everybody loves that look. I'm sorry if you don't like it and you think it's too female centric, but I'm sorry. Everybody likes that look. Everybody. So here's a picture somebody did of this picture of her in the Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow comic book. Now, I have to be honest with you. That comic book was just mid for me personally. I have to be also honest with you. I personally don't like Tom King as a writer. I don't think he's that great. I don't know why DC and Gunn is putting so much emphasis on him. I don't think that his writing isn't bad. Sometimes it's awful. Like, I'm sorry, like that Riddler One Day was just awful. Like, it was bad. It's so bad. He always talks about daddy issues, so I'm curious what he'll do with you know, this one. But so this comic book is basically like, you get this girl and she her father is murdered, and Supergirl helps her go through the galaxy to seek revenge. It's very bloody, very action-packed-y, so, you know, that'll be good, you know, in terms of that. So, So let's see. And then there's no talk about that. So it said Gunn at the time, at the announcement, that our series, we see the difference between Superman, who was sent to Earth and raised by loving parents from the time he was an infant, versus Supergirl, who was raised on a rock, a chip off Krypton, and watched everyone around her die and be killed in terrible ways for the first 14 years of her life, and then came to Earth when she was a young girl. She's much more hardcore. She's not exactly the Supergirl we're used to seeing, which I totally, and then he even says he reposted this article. So what do I think about this? I think that this is I think this is a great idea. I love Millie Alcock. Listen, I thought that Megan What's-Her-Face from the Zombie series, I thought that she was my pick for that, but this is good also. I have nothing against Millie Alcock. I can't wait to see her in the role. Like I said before, she's hot. And I think she's a good actress. So I think this is nothing but a good idea for, the DCU and James Gunn. And I'm happy with this choice. I would have been happy with any of the choices of the three ladies that were in the short list. But I did pick that Megan, what was her name? Megan something. And she didn't win it, but that's fine. Millie Alcott's a great actress. So we'll see where this goes from here, and can't wait to see it. All right, you guys. So that was my first story of the week. So for my second story of the week, all right, you guys. So it looks like Edebiri is out at Thunderbolts, and it looks like this Geraldine Viswanathan, sorry about her name, is in. So this is from Variety, this article, and we're going to read through this, and I'll give you my thoughts and everything, about the Bear Star. So it says, Edebiri exits Marvel's Thunderbolts, and Geraldine Viswanathan, steps into the role. I'll talk about the role in just a second. So it says, Marvel's Thunderbolts is coming further into focus. Geraldine Viswanathan has joined the cast of the team-up film, replacing Edebiri in an undisclosed role after the Emmy-winning The Bear Star dropped out of the project due to scheduling. Now, I have to be honest with you. So Edebiri dropped out because of scheduling, and so did Steven Yeun. So I believe this scheduling thing. Plus, I've only seen rumors about what the role is for the Thunderbolts, and I've heard that it's Val's assistant. And I just go, why would Edebiri want to waste her time with that nonsense when she could probably get a bigger role in the MCU? Everybody wants a role in the MCU, and I'm not happy for this Geraldine chick, but the Edebiri. I mean, I've never seen The Bear, and I can't think of anything that I've seen Edebiri in. She voiced a character, but I'm like, voice acting's not acting, with your face and stuff. So, yeah. I'm not dissing on voice acting. I'm just saying it's not the same. It's like a whole different mindset and everything. Okay, so let's get back to this article real quick, and then I'll talk to you a little bit more about my thoughts on this. So, it says, Viswanathan, that's such a long name, sorry Viswanathan, joins a massive ensemble cast of actors playing some of the Marvel Cinematic Universe's best-known anti-heroes, including Sebastian Stan's Bucky Barnes, Florence Pugh's Yelena Belova, David Harbour's The Red Guardian, John Walker, the U.S. agent, Ghost, and Taskmaster, and then Julia Louis-Dreyfus is playing Valentina Allegra Delafonte. So Val, and then the rumor was that this is for the assistant role. Although specific plot details remain top secret, I don't think they really know what they're doing with that anymore. I think that things have gotten so switched up and everything that they're just I'm pretty sure they're starting from scratch. Plot secret, the movie will effectively serve as Marvel's version of the DC's anti-hero team, the Suicide Squad, with characters brought together to do the dirty jobs the Avengers can't do. Now, I just want to say, I see this a lot of people describing the Thunderbolts as the Suicide Squad, but for Marvel. You guys, they're so different because the Suicide Squad is way like dirtier and grittier and bloodier than the Thunderbolts. Now the Thunderbolts, they will do jobs that the Avengers won't do, but it's not the same. It's not the same, you guys. And don't get me wrong, I like both. I like the Thunderbolts and I like the Suicide Squad, but I like the Suicide Squad better because they're just, like I said, they're grittier, they're dirtier, they're better in my opinion. But hey, it's fine. So Jack Schaefer is directing from the script by Eric Pearson. Now, I personally don't like Jack Schaefer, but whatever. And then Eric Pearson, he wrote Black Widow, so that makes me nervous because Black Widow sucked. Since Viswanathan's career launched in 2018, teen comedy Blockers, never saw it. She's appeared opposite of Hugh Jackman and Allison Janney in 2019's Bad Education. Oh, I did see it. Oh, no, I do remember her now from that. She did pretty good. Opposite Broken Hearts Gallery, Zach Galifianakis. Okay, all the stuff she's been in. I did hear that this Beanie Babies movie right here, I did hear was pretty good, the Beanie Bubble. I did hear was pretty good. And Edebiri is the second star to depart Thunderbolts in a recent month, Stephen Yeun. I will talk about that in just a second. So, overall, I think that this is good for Geraldine's career, but I mean the role, if it is Val's assistant, it's like a secondary character. It's like a nothing character. So I think Edebiri stepping out and being like, hey, keep my number in your Rolodex, you guys. I would love to work with you when my schedule allows it. So I mean, I'm on both their sides. Good for the Geraldine chick and AO, better luck next time. You know what I'm saying? All right, you guys. So that was my second story of the week. So for my third and final story of the week, and this has to play with the other story that I did, and that is that they found their Sentry over at the MCU now. There was some rumblings going on that they were looking at Lewis Pullman for Sentry, and they've cast him as Sentry, it looks like, and so good for him on all that nonsense. There's a lot of stuff going on. I just if you don't know, that's the Bill Pullman's son, and he was the president in Independence Day. If you saw that and everything, good movie. Okay, so let's read this article, and he's playing Sentry, and I want to talk about this because it looks like they're going for a skinnier Sentry, which I just go, why? You know what I'm saying? Okay, so here's what it says about this Sentry situation. So this is from Deadline, my favorite. So it says, Lewis Pullman is the top choice to replace Stephen Yeun in Marvel Studios' Thunderbolts, sources confirmed to Deadline. If a deal closes, he would star opposite Florence Pugh, David Harbour, Sebastian Stan, and Wyatt Russell, previously announced as the main ensemble in the pick during the D23 in 2022. That was like so far long ago. Oh, there's Stephen Yeun. That was so long ago, 2022. You guys remember 2022? Not so better times. Anyways, so it says Deadline broke that Yeun had been a part of the Thunderbolts cast, but had to back out after production was pushed because of WGA and SAG after strikes, creating scheduling issues for the recent Beef Emmy winner. And so it says Jack Schaefer is set to direct in the new Marvel tentpole. Black Widow scribe Eric Pearson is penning the script, which again makes me nervous. I'm not really a huge fan of Jack Schaefer and the writer for the Black Widow. I'm sorry, Black Widow sucked, you guys. I mean, I don't know anybody that liked that movie, and I'm not judging you if you did like that movie, but that movie wasn't good, you guys. I mean, like, there was some good parts about it, but overall, it wasn't good. We just have to be honest with ourselves. It was bad, and yeah, okay, so let's see. Okay, so Kevin Feige producing. Not much is known about the plot of the film, but the comics revolve around a group of villains who are sent on missions commissioned by the government, which is true. They do the jobs that the Avengers can't do. Like I've said before, they do the jobs that the Avengers can't do, but they're not like the Suicide Squad. They're not. They're totally different. You know, they're fun and everything, but yeah, they're villains. They're villains doing Avengers jobs that are a little messy sometimes. And you know, villains, they don't give a shit, so they'll kill somebody and just be like, sorry. So what do we think about this overall? All right, I have to be honest with you. I think this is a better choice, and this is why I think this is a better choice. So what do I think about this? I think that this is a good choice. I like this Pullman kid. He's super adorable. He's super cute and everything. But it looks like, you know, from, you know, he's most recently known for Top Gun Maverick, okay, which he had glasses there. And then he also appeared in Lessons in Chemistry with Brie Larson, which I didn't see that, but, you know, whatever, it's fine. And then he also appeared, and he's gaining a lot of attention through the award circuit this season. Now, he's on the skinnier side, and I think that the fitting the desired aesthetic for some reason is this like skinny dude of Sentry, and I personally don't like that. He's gonna have to beef up. I don't know if Stephen Yeun was gonna have to beef up, but I just really wish that they would do that, because I think that there are some concerns being raised by the decision to cast a skinny Sentry, and I think that some fans will be puzzled by Marvel's departure from the more comics accurate depiction of the character, and I think that the secrecy around the casting, particularly Sentry, is, you know, is a question that people are questioning about Marvel's decision to make decisions on casting. And we'll see. I mean, and despite the initial concerns of, I think that there's still anticipation for this movie, and it will be interesting to see the audience's like current level of excitement for Thunderbolts. Me personally, I am not excited with this movie. I think that they've made their decision. I think this is a good decision, you know, a good replacement, and it'll be interesting to see where this movie goes from here. All right, you guys. Well, that is my final story of the week. Tell me, what do you guys think about all of this? How do you feel about Millie Alcock taking over the role of being cast in the role of Supergirl for the DCU for James Gunn? Do you think this is a great choice? Did you wish it was somebody else? You know, how do you think this fan art looks and everything? What do you think about the movie? They said that it's loosely based off that comic book, and I hope it's very loosely based, because I mean the comic book's it's pretty decent. It's just not like my favorite Supergirl story, you know what I'm saying? And we'll see how it works out. I'm just interested to see where this goes from here. And her cameo in Superman Legacy, do you think that's a good choice? Do you think it's a good choice to introduce all these people in one movie only to have them in, you know, all this other stuff? I think that they shouldn't copy the MCU. I think that they should do their own thing, and I think that that's what James Gunn's doing. I personally like James Gunn. I like his style. I like the way he writes. I like his comedy. So therefore, I think this is a good choice, and I have faith in James Gunn to take the DCU into the future. You know what I'm saying? Also, tell me how you guys feel about Geraldine being Viswanathan be taking over for Ao Edebiri. Do you think this is a good choice? Do you think the rumors are true and she's just playing the assistant to Valentina and it wasn't like a huge role anyways, and maybe Ao, you know, dodged a bullet there, and maybe she can get a bigger role in the MCU? Or do you think this was a bad choice career-wise and she should have taken it, you know? I think it's fine. I think she'll be fine, you know? I think that her star is on the rise, so I think that we just have to wait and see where this goes. But good job for Geraldine, this one, and hopefully, you know, she knocks it out of the park and does a great job. And then finally, tell me, how do you guys feel about Lewis Pullman taking over Stephen Yeun as the Sentry? Do you think this is a good casting choice? Do you think that he's going to do a great job? You know, how do you feel about Sentry as a character? I think he's just okay. I mean, like, to have him in Thunderbolts, I'm like, okay. I'm like, he's not a staple there, but whatever, it's fine. But we'll see how this turns out. A small piece of me thinks that this Thunderbolts movie is going to be a train wreck. You know what I'm saying? I don't think Marvel's learned their lesson, not one bit, and I think that we're going to see it. But we'll see. They've got a whole... It's a nightmare over there at Marvel. But... yeah, tell me what you guys think. All right, you guys, so that's all I got for you this week. Tell me what you guys think about this week's stories. Go ahead and leave all your comments in that section down below. If you like this video, go and hit that like button. You know I won't mind. If you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. I'd greatly appreciate it. And I'll see you guys next week on my weekend review. You guys have a good week. Bye. Hey nerds, if you like this video, go ahead and click that Geek What icon and subscribe. And if you like this video, go ahead and join me every Sunday with my Week in Review.